Yeah, there's some good questions in the AMA questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We got some keen eyes on the Rfox crew, so it'd be nice to hear a bit more about them.
Yeah, definitely. And we're still. I think we'll wait. It's like a couple of hours, a couple of minutes, just for people to come in. Just after the top of the hour, before we kind of get into it. But
do you guys have any trivia by chance or something that we can award some of your members with free cogs packs and whatnot?
Ooh, free cogs. Free cogs sound all right. Yeah. Trip. Here you go.
Yeah, we can do a bit of trivia or something. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, nice one. Thank you very much.
We always love supplying free crack to the new communities.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, yeah. How do you want to run that? Do you want to just pick out some random questions? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can. Yeah, think about that while we're thinking about other things, and just when we get there, we'll throw it down.
Hanford has all the goodies today. Yeah, I'm driving, right. So.
Hey, so if you're frisbeeing out free cogs, will we need wax wallets to catch them?
Yes, definitely need a wax wallet.
Yeah, no. Cool. All right, maybe
would they use an Rfox Id?
Ooh. So hey, is that
no?
Crypt3d?
You need a wax cloud wallet because you can't log into your Rfox Id on Atomic Hub in order to open the packs. So you have to have a wax cloud wallet in order to crack packs open. Now, if somebody has an Rfox Id, we can send them individual cogs over there that they could play with in the game. But you need a wax cloud wallet.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Should we? Is there any a link or something we can drop in the chat that people can start setting up?
I'm getting it right now for you guys.
Oh, good man. On top of it, you've done this before, haven't you?
Yeah, I've given out thousands of cogs.
Yeah, nice. That's cool. Well, you know what? Yeah, sorry, go, mate.
I was just going to say, tell us what's the hottest cog that's been talked about at the moment.
I know the answer to this.
Oh, no links in your main chat. Generally, it's the Rfox 2020 is like the hottest one. I think the cheapest on the market is like $22,000, give or take. It was a very unique promo cog that was given out back in the day, tied in with the first treasure hunt and Easter egg hunt that they had.
Oh, I think I remember that. And so that's a pretty low supply on the 2020, isn't it?
50 of them. There's still 11 to be given out.
Yeah, only
50. Yeah, really. So what do you have to do to get one of them?
I got mine from the Easter egg hunt. So Benny and the team put together an amazing number of clues, which the first 10 that got through a wide assortment of Easter eggs, scavenger hunt, whatnot, if you will, and got to this special secret Discord. You won BTC, tons of first edition starters, boosters, Rfox 2020, and I managed to get in there at the 9th slot. But we had to crack all sorts of codes. You had to. A lot of it was beyond my my wheelhouse as far as. But I learned a lot. I had cipher keys, things like that. It was pretty intense, and so that was the first to get your hands on one. They've done a number of giveaways, wheels through since the start in the last year and a half, but there's 11 left out in existence, owned by the team that there's going to be given out. So,
yeah, well, keep an eye out for them. Hey, Hanford, so you couldn't put the link in the chat. We've got links locked down, just kind of coming into our mint. Would you mind just quickly opening a support ticket and dropping the link there? Will that work? That won't work, will it, Don? And we've got that turned off as well. We'd need to get the link through. So maybe I can drop it into the chat. I might just Google it and drop it into the chat. That's all good. But just before I do that, I'd like to kick things off because we've got a few people in here, and our guests that we have for tonight, XP and Hanford, both Rfox and brand ambassadors. They're been nice enough to come over and give us some of their time and kind of tell us a little bit about Rfox, and answer any questions that you guys have about Rfox. I'm not sure if many of the community have had that much of a chance to really have a deep dive into Rfox since we made the partnership announcement, but Rfox is just an absolute beast under the hood. They have a lot of things going on. It's a very impressive ecosystem that they're building over there, and it's going to be very beneficial to the Crypt3d Punks project for us to be integrating our brand with theirs. So we thought it would be best if we just get some people that are better versed at Rfox and the Rfox ecosystem than us to come in and just have a chat about it. So I might hand over the mic to you guys if you want to just maybe give us a little bit of an introduction to both yourselves and to just the Rfox kind of project and ecosystem as a whole.
You want to go first, Hanford?
Sure. Been an active COG collector since the first packs went live back in August of 2020. About a year ago this time is when they created the brand ambassador program with Rfox, and XP and I are both actually the brand ambassadors for the games division. We have regular brand ambassadors for regular Rfox, and the games division, there's 3 of us for it. So we're specifically with the COGs, but involved with it, almost everything else that's going on. Quite well known because we get weekly AMAs with Benny. Now multi-weekly, like it used to be back in the day. So, but just been with them for a good year and a half or better now. Getting close to 2, it feels like. So, big time COGS collectors. That's probably part of the reason XP and I were both chosen. We're got large ones. So,
Yeah, right. Cool. And how about yourself, Hanford?
say what?
Oh, I was just Hanford. How did Hanford get involved?
Just being involved in the. I was on the Wax Cloud wallet and the Wax blockchain with other projects before COGS came along, and then when they came along, got involved, joined the Discord, and really started hearing what Benny had to say and what they were planning for the future. The first talks of the metaverse were way back in that time, long before it was a fun word that everybody knew. And just stuck around because things were good. I mean, still are quite good.
Must have seemed quite an ambitious plan back then. Obviously, what you guys are doing is the whole thing's it's huge, but metaverse gets thrown around quite a fair bit these days. But all the way back then, must have seemed quite ambitious, and Ben obviously must have sold his vision pretty well to get you on board.
Yeah, well, they made good acquisitions back in the day. They bought a media company, and other things like that to help promote what they were envisioning for the grand plan. There's been talks about the cashback streaming app that's going to be integrated through Rfox Media into the vault and everything. And I was aware of that trend in Asia and how big it was, and the fact that it's not even that big in the US. So that was always promising, because when you can get a hold of the women and the girls and their money and shopping power, that's powerful.
True. That's true for sure. So on the topic of they purchased that kind of media company, there's sort of like the venture building side of Rfox. Is that right?
Yeah, Rfox started out, a lot of their plans was to build the things that other people would use in the future. And like the NFT white label platform is a good example of that now. But yeah, they've always been a venture builder, trying to create new things that they saw would be coming down the line. Benny was on point with the whole metaverse thing and cashback streaming app, getting a hold of their own media company, having their own games division, kind of building up all of the major components of what we're calling Web3 nowadays.
Yep. Yeah, right. So I dropped in the announcements for this AMA, just a bit of a rundown. Rfox Games, Rfox NFTs, Rfox Vault, which is the metaverse, Rfox Finance, Rfox Media, Rfox Entertainment. Fair bit going on there, and they're all somewhat like they're underpinned by the Rfox token that integrates through. That's like, is that sort of like the native currency through the whole ecosystem? Is that how that works?
Yes. Like right now with the Rfox games, with the play to earn that's come out, Slam, the very first game, you can earn 100 coins every day, and 100 coins is worth $1 of Rfox, no matter what the conversion rate is at that time that you decide to cash out.
Right.
Yeah, and everything inside of the vault is supposed to be run on the back end through Rfox as a token. And the Vfox token plays in with the vault. That's kind of your profit sharing of the vault, so to speak, your reward system. So the actual volume of transactions that goes through the vault will pay rewards to people that are Vfox holders. So the Vfox is the vault, and it's all about the metaverse, and it's like, being a stockholder in it, so to speak, getting your dividends.
Yep.
But everything else is pinned on Rfox. That's the main token, the main currency for everything.
Yep. That's good to hear about Vfox, because I'm holding some Vfox and I wasn't actually kind of aware of that, so that's cool. And okay, so Rfox is the token on the back end. And so you just mentioned about in the game, so you can earn 100 coins a day that you can convert to Rfox regardless of the rate. So can you talk a little bit about, and this is kind of, I guess, leading into our partnership with Cogs KML, the Cogs Slam game that's out at the moment. You guys have somewhere in the vicinity of, is it 27,000 kind of active beta users at the moment? Is that about the right number?
It's about there for the active players. I think total players is somewhere getting close to 70,000 now.
Right.
Obviously you get the people that try it and then don't like it, and you get the people that do it so irregularly that they aren't counted in the daily player count. So,
Right.
and I think I'd fall in that. I don't always hit it every day, and sometimes I miss a couple days getting busy, but play a little bit here and there.
Yeah, sure. So if they're buying, so they play to earn in their coins, they convert them to Rfox. You guys got 27,000 active users on essentially beta, and you just rolled out to 175 countries. Are those 475 countries? Are they going to be participating in beta, or is it moving to full version soon, or?
Still in beta. There's a couple of major aspects of the game that have yet to be released. Probably the biggest would be tournaments. They have a plan for having tournaments in the future that will reward special tournament cogs, and those are going to be tied in, integrated into the tubes that you can create with complete sets. Like if you get if you get all of the same cog in every single border and color combination available, we call that a rainbow set. And when you get all those together, you can cost 5 wax to do it, but you can get it put into a tube, and then you can, you've got that complete set. We've had staking rounds with those tubes that pay Rfox, like the one that's currently going on and getting ready for the special editions and the in-game slam cogs. You'll be able to make if you collect a complete set, either by buying or trading, and we have a very active trading community. So don't think if you want to get into this that you have to buy everything you need. If you get packs and you got ones you aren't collecting, you can usually trade those for ones you are. But we've got a staking round right now that's getting ready to kick off and you still have time to complete some sets, and then you'll be able to stake those tubes and earn Rfox for the complete sets. And that's similar to how the tournament system is going to go. Those the tubes are going to be a part of the tournament system, where the tube holders are going to be getting rewarded based on the entry fees to get into the tournaments.
Right. That's cool. So how many cogs to make up a tube, to fill a tube?
Anywhere from 12 to 90, depending on which edition and which cogs, because they come in multiple rarities. So the rarer ones usually take fewer to make the set, like first edition ultra rare superset or rainbow is only 12 cogs, but those are hard to get because they're ultra rares and highly expensive, highly sought after. Common sets, in the 24 for a superset or for a rainbow, and like 80 something for the supersets, and then they vary based on each rarity. So anywhere from like 12 to 80.
Right, cool. Wonder, so how do you know how the sets might work? So the Crypt3d Punk cogs are coming in through the KML. Do you have any idea how the set would work for that in that situation?
I don't believe at this point in time the Cogs Mint Labs will have sets to make tubes. It could be possible in the future where just a set amount of them, like 20 of them, could make a set if they decide to go that route. But right now, the sets are pretty much limited to the editions that are rolled out by Cogs, either the editions, special editions, the tournament edition, or the Slam edition.
Yeah, sure. So I think when we had a conversation with Fads and Phil, there was some talk about that, like potentially further down the line, and as a method to kind of generate some passive income from your Crypt3d Punk hogs. But obviously, we're just in the early stages of kind of getting into it, so potentially something to explore further down the line. But I might I'm being kind of wary of time, and you guys do need to take off afterwards. So we'll get into the kind of questions that we had drop into the AMA questions channel, and some questions that we pulled out of the general chat. We've kind of arranged these to kind of answer the Rfox ones first, and there were some just kind of general Crypt3d Punk ones we'll leave to the end, so we can get through the Rfox one while you two gentlemen are with us. First question that we have is from Rednax. Always throwing like good quality questions. He's asking, do I need to set up my own wax wallet in order to mint cogs with my Crypt3d Punk NFT PFP? And can you please walk us through how to do this, or maybe just like a bit of an explanation on what that kind of looks like?
Yes, you will, and it's pretty easy. The website is actually all-access.wax.io, and it's the Wax Cloud Wallet dashboard. You can go there, use your email. It's not a KYC wallet, so pretty easy to set up. Once you set one of them up, they give you a nice little Wax Cloud wallet, which is all letters. Like, this is mine for an example. Most people's end in .wam. Real easy, little simple address.
Yep.
So, but you do need one of those in order to either open up a pack or to mint something, playing in the games. Now, when you get an Rfox ID through the game system, you get a Wax Cloud wallet that's associated with your game, but you can't log into Atomic Hub to open packs, which is the downside. So, like, if you want to play the game with your own cogs, you've got to transfer the cogs from your Wax wallet over to your Rfox ID wallet.
Sure. So on that topic, could you possibly just a little brief explanation about the Rfox ID?
Well, the Rfox ID is intended to be a universal ID system for everything that you're going to do with Rfox inside of the vault and with the games. When you get an Rfox ID, they automatically give you an Ethereum wallet address and a Wax Cloud wallet address. Obviously, in the future, there's going to be more that are associated with that. So when you log into the game, like right now, which is about the only use for the Rfox ID, you sign up either with Gmail and email, Facebook, or Apple ID. You can use any of those to generate yourself an Rfox ID. But the plan is in the future that'll be, what you use when you access the vault, what you use when you play any of the games. If you're on the Cashback streaming app, And the intent is that people will be able to do everything from one wallet, no matter what you're doing in the ecosystem, no matter what chains they're supporting and what coins. That way, if you've got Ethereum in your wallet and a shop owner wants to get paid in dollar tether, you know, they'll take the Rfox, they'll take it out of your Rfox ID, what you're paying with, and then the owner will get paid. It gets routed through Rfox on the back end to help generate the rewards for the VFox holders. So in the future, it's going to be an all-encompassing, all-in-one. And Benny likes to use a phrase that he wants it so easy your grandmother can do it.
Mm. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's very cool. Nice one. He's next question was he says Coles has a play to earn system. Can you tell us more about how it works? You've kind of covered that already, so maybe with the slam, maybe we'll move past that one. His next question was, what are the things we're going to see inside the Rfox vault? I watched the trailer and it is really amazing, which it is.
Well, pretty much just about everything that you've been hearing promised for the metaverse. You know, the main theme of the Rfox is a retail metaverse space. You know, we have the 4 different quarters that are themed on, you know, some of the major aspects of Web3, which is the gaming, the music, the art, and then retail. So as far as what you're going to be able to see and do, you know, they've got the roller coaster, they've got the racetrack in there. They're talking about esports. You'll be able to go shopping in there, see concerts, play games, pretty much the full gamut of just about anything that you can do in the metaverse is in their plan house, in their wheelhouse. You know, not everything's going to be implemented right away. Things will come out in stages, but first we'll be getting the shop set up, getting that retail experience going on, and then adding things as it grows and develops, like the roller coaster ride or the esports stadium, the concert stadium, things along those lines.
Is there any indication of what kind of, you mentioned racing, is there any indication of what kind of racing? Is it like car racing type stuff, or?
Well, these the vault is based on, you know, all metaverses, which is instances. So technically, from a technical standpoint, you could have 15 races going on in the stadium at the same time because everybody else is seeing their different instances. So if you want car races, horse races, chicken races, hoverboard races, just about whatever you can think of, if somebody is actually planning an event and hosting it there at that time, then that should be available to whoever has access to those instances. So
Yeah, wow, that'd be fun. I wouldn't mind booting around inside the stadium as a Crypt3d Punk racing some people from the community. We've been getting into the Smash Card games, and it's been fun. So that'd be cool to do that in the vault. And also, just like another thing on that, like what we'll see in the vault is you guys are building that with Oculus. That's like the virtual reality headsets. And for those who haven't used the virtual reality headset, like it's pretty amazing. It's a massive step up from, you know, looking into a gaming environment, running around, you know, on your computer screen or on your TV screen. It's a lot more immersive. So that will be very interesting to be getting around that kind of environment with a VR headset on.
Real quick on that, the vault is starting out in virtual reality, but in time it will be PC and mobile active. So we recognize that, especially since Southeast Asia is one of the largest target audiences for this whole ecosystem, that a lot of them don't have access to VR and won't. So VR is a big badass that everybody wants, so that'll be the first thing, but it will be adapted for both desktop use and mobile use.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's very cool. Next question. Can we battle 1v1 inside the game? I guess Rednax is referring to Cog Slam here. I want to fight my friend and want to test who is the best. I'll actually, that's a question for you guys, and I'm thinking that's kind of directed at the Slam, but I'm actually going to copy that question down for us to answer later on, just for the punks. But yeah, if you could address this. So in COG's Slam, you effectively can play one-on-one. Is that right?
Yes, it's a 1v1 game. Right now, the game is still in beta and they're developing things, and the request to be able to play specific people or to re-challenge somebody you just played is in the works. It's not an active feature right now, but it is something that they're looking on figuring out how to get implemented, where you can invite somebody to come and play and challenge, or there might be like a waiting room where you can go in and talk with people and then pick somebody to actually play with. But right now it's mostly, the pairings are mostly based on what your win ratio is at and where you're at. So like if you go into the game and you want to play in the arena and you don't have any wins and you never played before, you're not going to get teamed up with like one of the top 10 players who has a 10 win streak going on. You know, they're going to pair you up with somebody else who has 0 wins on theirs at that time. So there is a little bit of a matchmaking system based on what your current activity is at, you know, where you're at in the game. But hopefully soon here we'll have the ability to challenge specific people or send an invite to a challenge or things along those lines.
Yeah, sure. That'd be very, very nice features. Oh yeah, so yeah, in beta, I'm still blown away. Like 27,000 active users in beta. Just knowing that you're opening up to 175 countries, it's surely that's going to make for some pretty wild adoption. I heard the figure, I think, thrown around, like how many games of Slam have actually been played. I think the other day. Do you know what that figure is? It's a pretty big figure.
How many total games have been played?
Yeah.
Oh, it's hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
If not a million games. We had a large prize pool offering recently for like a little mini tournament season type thing. And there was 65,000 Rfox that was given out to people, plus the chance to win a special gold slammer. So when you got those going on, people, you know, there's some people, they must be robots. They play like 24/7, you know.
Yeah.
So when there's an active prize pool going on, there's a lot of games being played because people want to stay at the top of those leaderboards.
Yep, for sure. I think that the number I heard, I think, was a 7-figure number as well. That was pretty impressive. It's a lot of games for a beta testing for sure. Okay, so next question: how will minted cogs be used in the Rfox Vault or Metaverse, like the utility there? I think I may have touched on that a little bit earlier. That might be something that's a bit further down the line. Is that right?
Well, to start out with, your Cogs Mint Lab, like if people were to make them of these Crypt3d Punks, they would fall into that same category of the ones that we've got for the Bored Ape, where those are going to qualify for various whitelist positions for different projects. That's always been on the table as something that they will do. So right off the bat, like if Crypt3d Punk come out on the Cog Mint Lab and you mint some, and then a week later Cogs goes, hey, you know, we've partnered with X project and you guys have whitelist spots for it. So the first and easiest one is the whitelist access. Other utilities being created inside of the vault are being explored and discussed. You know, people can let their imaginations run wild. Nothing's been definitively set upon, but there will be more coming.
Yeah, and I can follow up on that as well as per our conversations with the team regarding utility for the Crypt3d Punks being the KML and minting your Crypt3d Punk cog. Those cogs may be the portal basically into the Rfox vault. So by minting those, you may need to burn those to either get your avatar in there or
hey guys,
or
so this is
pick up additional wearables. Sure. Yep.
So this is XP, guys. Hello, everyone. I was going to add on to that a little bit. So we have a first edition cog called an arcade, and one of the original game creators of the first rendition of Cog Slam said, hey, there's an arcade cog. What if in the vault you have this cog? It allows you into this special arcade instance. There's going to be a lot of gamification of these types of ideas for special cogs, even as old as the first edition. Rfox 2020, there's only 50 of them out in existence. We've been told since the beginning it's going to be the most special thing, getting your hands on. The owner, Benny, has an active offer that he'll spend 10 grand on one in a heartbeat. So owning single cogs, sets, everything is going to be special for everybody.
Yeah, sure. So like sort of access to restricted areas. It's kind of similar to how we're looking at playing things in Sandbox and Decentraland, requiring your Crypt3d Punk PFP to get access to particular areas within our land and our areas that we buy there. We're very keen at getting involved in a retail shop in the Rfox Vault as well. For those that haven't kind of caught on to that, so that opens up another, just another kind of big window of possibilities. If you get space in there and you can start operating out of there. I've just had someone share in the general chat that the COG Slams actually had over 8.5 million games played, which is absolutely wild, with over 1 million Rfox paid. And crazy stat that on average, active users play 2.5 hours per day. So that must be a pretty entertaining game. That's pretty wild. Cool as.
And one other thing to add on to the utility for the COGS Mint Lab is there are going to be more games coming out. Right now, they're anticipating that they're going to release 2 more games by the middle of this year with a goal of 4 games by the end of the year. So COGS are going to have different utility in different games because the games are going to be set up differently. So chances are, in the future, the COGS Mint Lab in a different game might do something more special than what they do in the current COGS Slam game. So there's other things with the gaming division to look forward to going on this year.
Yeah, for sure. And I think just by being involved with such a beast like Rfox and just the amount of development that's constantly ongoing, there's just kind of going to be these ongoing benefits and utility that just continue to build. So it's another one of the many reasons to be excited about the partnership. So I'll jump into the next question that we pulled out of the general chat. How much does it cost to sell a COG on the secondary market?
It's free. Wax Cloud Wallet is basically free. You have to stake a little bit of wax to your resources, your CPU and your net, but it doesn't take much. But listing, selling, buying, trading is all free on the Wax Cloud Wallet. It's one of the reasons they do it. Wax Cloud Wallet is, by transaction count, the largest blockchain in the world right now. They handle they handle millions and millions and millions of transactions every single day.
Wow, that's crazy. That's just obviously. Is there a lot of play to earn happening on Wax? Is that because of the free transactions?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And as Atesh noted in the chat, there isn't a fee per se to list it, like a gas fee in order to list it, but the tokenomics of Wax, they have the maker taker fees. So, COGS the market gets a small fee to help support the market. And then whoever the creator is gets to establish a percentage of the resale that they get. So there is a small fee in that aspect, but you don't actually have to pay a fee in order to list it or pay a fee in order to do a trade or things like that.
Oh, that's cool. So you can kind of jump your price around a little bit if you.
Yeah, like if you want to get $100 for it, then you list it at 110. So when they take or 111, so when they take the 10% out, you still get your $100.
Yeah, sure. That seems like a smart way to do it as well. Next question, I see Bay C are on Coles. Is there somewhere we can go to see the secondary sales for them?
Yeah, if you go on Atomic Hub, on their filter side on the left, they've got a button that says sales. So you can click on that and it'll show you the sales history for COGS. And then once you're in there, if you want to get specific, all of the filters work. So if you want to see just like the COGS Mint Lab, you can go to the sales page and then filter to the COGS Mint Lab, and they'll show you. Oh, and then you can filter how you want it: highest price, descending order, descending time, whatever.
Yeah, right. Any idea kind of what ballpark the base C COGS are kind of selling for? Just out of curiosity.
Well, the cheap, low. Which ones did you say?
The base C COGS.
Oh, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Those have been trending in the couple hundred to couple thousand. There was one guy who did a gold for one, and all of those went for higher value. So it kind of has a lot to do with the traits that are actually on the Bored Ape. because we've had around 20 or so, give or take, that have been minted. Probably more now, but it's somewhere around 20, maybe 30. So, but they aren't cheap. I think the cheapest one's like right around the $100 that I've ever seen.
Yep.
But
Yeah, well.
they're typically in the couple of hundreds. So I think most people are getting around 1,200 to 2,400 selling all 5 on average.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's crazy, isn't it? That's very, very cool. So just, yeah, means a derivative of your NFT. Very, very good. Sweet. Okay, so we have a question. This is a more of a punk related question. The 3D avatar who we can wear in the metaverse is automatically minted with the Crypt3d Punks. I think they're asking, are they automatically minted with the Crypt3d Punks, or we mint again for the 3D avatar? So you actually have to mint. We haven't made them yet, so they'll effectively be an NFT. So we'll have to actually mint them when they're ready to be dropped into the metaverse. Regarding, if I think maybe your question is about, do you have to pay for that mint? So this, we really don't want to charge for this. So this is really going to come down to when we get to the point of, say Sandbox are going to be our first metaverse punks. When we get to that point, we're just going to have to do an assessment on kind of how much secondary sale revenue we're generating, the expense to produce the 10K set for that particular metaverse. The cost associated with purchasing land and developing whatever it is that we're going to develop on the land in that particular metaverse, and we'll make the decision there. If the kind of the balance is like we do need to charge a bit to mint the 3D avatars, we're going to keep that basically as low as possible. And why that's relative is because obviously there's 10,000 punks, and to mint each one, so we can't afford to pay the gas fee to mint punks for 10,000 punks. That would wreck the business, and we need a sustainable business model in order to continue moving forward. So we'd have to get the actual individual user to mint the avatar version, metaverse avatar version of their punk. But yeah, if we can, we'll keep the actual cost to do that to zero if we can. Or if we do need to charge a little bit, we'll keep that fee talking about basically as low as possible. And that's important because while we've marked out our roadmap, looking at Sandbox, Decentraland, Rfox, Vault, we plan to continue to keep building for metaverses as they evolve. We have no idea like what metaverses are going to pop up in the next 6 to 12 months, let alone the next 6 to 12 years. And we want to keep building these punks so they can pretty much jump between every reputable metaverse that pops up. Like it was just actually tonight, I was in a Twitter Spaces with Aussie NFT, I can't remember the name of them, Aussie NFT Alliance. I was in a Twitter Spaces with them, and someone mentioned another NFT, another metaverse that kind of operates very similar to Grand Theft Auto, that is built on Ethereum. And that is just an absolutely perfect fitting kind of environment for the punks. So that's already another one that's kind of already on the radar for us to start having a look at. And this is going to continue happening. So if we're going to keep hopping these punks along between metaverses, it needs to happen in a sustainable manner so we can continue to keep building and not chew through treasury funds. That being said, if if the secondary sale royalties are funding substantial enough to fund the build, then it'll be essentially a free mint plus your gas fee. If not, it'll be a minor mint fee just to kind of keep that perpetual building cycle moving forward. Second question, if the OGs, this is from Logical Things, if the OGs can mint twice, can we mint again in the public mint? Yes, yeah, you can. So just to clear that up for everyone, we essentially have 2 whitelists going on. We have our standard whitelist, which gets you access to the standard whitelist, and then there's the OG whitelist. So you can hold those 2 whitelists, and you can mint in both of those. And then when you hit the public sale, you can also mint in the public sale if you so wish. But yeah, just want to make that clear about the 2 different whitelists that we have. And we have an announcement very, very, very shortly about all of those dates and all of those prices. So stay tuned for that. If I have a Crypt3d Punk, can I make it for my business, like a clothing brand, for example? Hey, David, do you want to grab that one? Because you're on top of that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. This comes back around just to the IP, and you have total, you know, ownership of your NFT. So yes, you can take it into a business, and like you say there, could you start up a clothing brand? Of course you could. Yeah, you can monetize off it and do lots of things with it. So yeah, it's one of the best things that we've implemented. It is by choice. There are other projects and NFTs that don't have this type of IP freedom. So yeah, it's a really good aspect of being able to own a punk and then go out there and have some fun with it. And it helps with the outward sort of marketing and branding of the total collection. So it's really positive to see people. It's sort of like what we've been doing in the Discord with our content creation and stuff. We see people that have just got all these amazing talents and great ideas, and they're very resourceful. And we see all of the art that comes in and all the memes, and for us that's great. It's interaction, but at the same time we can send that out, and it helps promote what we're doing, and it just gives everyone that community sort of feeling. So yeah, once we get minted, it'll be just awesome just to see those first few little things pop up from wherever they do, with people that are actually going to use the full utility on their own end. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what comes from that. And yeah, just very much an opinion that a rising tide with still votes. So yeah, if you guys can go out there, you get a cool looking punk that you really like, and you can do something with it to make a business or make something out of it. Like 100% go for it. It's only going to further strengthen our brand, and that helps everyone in the community. So I'd love to see what's going to happen there. One more question, and there's actually 2 or 3 questions about Rfox, but I'll just we'll jump over to those. Kakarot asks, what separates Rfox from Sandbox and Decentraland? Also, what made you guys collab with Crypt3d Punks?
Probably main thing that makes us different is we're not a game-based one. It's going to be a smaller metaverse than what you see in Decentraland or Sandbox, increasing the chances of seeing other people and having active participation. It's going to be visually, it's going to be more real world styled, futuristic real world. So it isn't Minecraft looking like some of the other ones. That's going to be one of the major differences. Another one is just going to be the full integration of the Rfox ecosystem. Everything's going to be tied in together, and everything's going to be accessible through the vault that way. Whether it's the media, the games, finance, all of that. Not to dig on them too much, but there's a major difference between a video game that's like a metaverse and a real metaverse. And when people think about real ones, when you think about Ready Player One, those types of environments, they're all encompassing, and that's what Rfox is planning on doing. Like this vault that we've got going now is the main one. It's the Genesis one. The plans are in the future, there's going to be regional and local vaults that you'll be able to go into, so that you can do something as easy as like ordering food and getting it delivered locally. Like if you and your friends are out hanging out, going to watch a concert or the races or whatever, and you start getting hungry, you can go and order food in there locally and have it delivered in the local ones. So the vault has plans for expansion to be, a large global one and your local ones. So
yeah,
some of the differences.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think another. I'll add a couple of points to that as well. Is you just look at it, like jump onto YouTube and look at there's a couple of walkthrough videos of the interiors of the shops, and Yeah, the graphics are just on a different level to any other metaverse that I've seen so far. And, there's a massive, Ben was saying in the AMA on Rfox the other day, there's a massive graphic upgrade going on top of that. And I was asking him some questions about, how they're going about actually doing those upgrades, if they're just texture upgrades or whatever. And it's like, no, they're doing like a proper, proper upgrade on what's already there. So that's going to be absolutely wild to see when that gets released. Very impressive. And interesting that you said, this is essentially the first stage of it, and there'll be like regional. I wasn't aware of that. I did hear Ben mention that, obviously it's pretty big space, but like when you're building a metaverse, you can really make it as big as you want. But Ben made the really valid point that I hadn't considered until I heard him say it, that a lot of other kind of metaverses, you jump into them and they've made them too big, like for now, until at least they fill out. And you jump into some of them and you walk around, and you can walk around for 5 minutes and not bump into anyone. And it's kind of got this eerie ghost town kind of feeling about it. So Rfox have actually kind of reduced the size of the vault a little bit. So when everyone's in there, you kind of like bumping shoulders with people, and it feels a little bit more like a real world environment, which I think was a really, really smart move on Ben's behalf to make that call. But interesting to see that you eventually will be expanding out of that into regional areas and stuff like that. So really, really interesting. Yeah. Cool. Now there's there was the following part of that question. What made you guys collab with Crypt3d Punks? I think I could answer that if you can't grab that one, Hanford.
Yeah, that's a little above my pay grade.
Yeah, I was having a chat to Ben about this. I asked him about this in our initial meeting. It was one of my closing questions for him. What made you guys, actually look at Crypt3d Punks? And to shed a little light on that question, when there's a million NFT projects going on right now, and trying to get on the radar of, anyone with influence or like any kind of like magnitude in the space is incredibly difficult. So it was a big win for us to get a response back from Ben, and David was the one that reached out and made the first contact. David and I are both Rfox holders from back in 2018, so we've been following the project for a while, and to get a response back from Ben was really cool for us. And so I was really curious to know what why he kind of gave us the time of day. I'm sure he gets a million messages a day. He's an incredibly busy man, and but without going into like too much detail about his response, it was something in the lines of, he appreciates, like he's built Rfox, from the ground up, and he's a fellow Australian man as well, and he kind of can appreciate when he sees that people are putting in effort and grinding and just trying to, just make something of this amazing opportunity that's happening with all this crypto, NFT, and metaverse. And when we kind of came to it, and obviously he really loves the artwork as well, and I think he's obviously seen value in what the utility that we're trying to bring to the project as a whole. So I think it was a kind of combination of all of those things that kind of got him interested in having the conversation with us. And obviously, we're pretty serious about what we're doing. This isn't just like a quick flip vaporware project. We've got some serious things happening in the background there, and I think he just saw the value in that. So I think that kind of, hopefully that answers that question on behalf of Ben. Next question is from Polkadot Punk, and as a bit of a right here, and I'll read through this. I'm incredibly tired, so forgive me if I mix any of these words up, but I'll do my best to get through it. So first off, thanks for the Rfox and Crypt3d Punks team for putting this AMA on. You're welcome. I spent about an hour yesterday watching Rfox videos on YouTube, trying to make sense of what they all have going on. I learned about COGS, Wax P and Wax wallets, Rfox tokens, play to earn with Slam, and how there is already a huge ecosystem. I can't believe how much they have going on. Very impressive, to say the least. 100% agree. My question for the team is, what will be the first few things we want to do once we have our 3D punks as far as the Rfox platform goes? In other words, what will we want to do right away so we are using all the possible utility this partnership brings with it? Like myself, I believe there's a lot of people who this is a little new to, but are eager to learn and make most of everything, as well as help grow the community. Do you want to have a shorter answer of that, Hanford, or do you like me to grab it?
One of the main things about the whole vault in the metaverse is the bringing together of people. You know, COVID expedited it, where people are more isolated. So one of the main plans was just bringing people together. So one of the first things you might be doing is meeting up with your friends, all dressed up in your CryptoPunks, to either go shopping, go to a concert, play some games, go to a sporting event, anything along those lines. Would probably be what some people are going to do first. I imagine a lot of people are first time go around are just going to be exploring inside of the vault to see all the different things and what's been created. But you know, it's all about the social engagement for the most part. So it would probably be you and your friends doing something that you guys like. You know, we have a whole quarter dedicated to music. We have a whole quarter dedicated to art, and we have a whole quarter dedicated to games and retail. So, you know, depending on what you like to do, any one of those should be possible. You know, you could either go watch a racing event or go participate in a racing event. You know, the possibilities are endless, especially within like the gaming quarter, where just about any door you walk through could put you into a game in a new instance where you're doing something. You know, maybe you walk through a door and the whole vault turns into a post-apocalyptic world, and you got to go around shooting zombies, or you know, hop in that NASCAR car and go for a spin on the track, or go jam out in a music session with somebody.
Yeah,
Didn't I read with your utility also they will have the ability to mint a Cryptid Punk cog and then burn it or whatnot for wearables to customize our Cryptid Punk avatars?
Yes, yeah, exactly right. I was about
That's
to touch.
awesome.
Yeah, I was about to just touch on that as well. Like, you know, not too long after, you know, we basically closed the sale, you'll be able to go through and mint your particular CryptoPunk on the cogs. I think it's something in vicinity. You're allowed to do that mint 5 cogs per month, I think is the limit. So you can actually go back and do more. Pardon me. And then, so immediately after holding those CryptoPunk cogs, you essentially get access to upcoming Rfox partnership whitelists, and that's a little bit better than what I think immediately sounds, because Rfox isn't just taking on like any willy-nilly partnership. I believe we're only the second partnership they've taken on through this KML process, and you know, Ben's obviously a very smart man, knows what he's doing. He'll be looking for quality projects to bring in and give you know, KML cog holders or CryptoPunk cog holders opportunities to whitelist into you know, quality NFT projects, or just, you know, quality projects. So immediate utility straight off the bat there. Me personally, I'll be going in and minting my CryptoPunk cogs and just holding them for a while, because this kind of circles back to Red Max's question that he had about you know, can we battle one-on-one inside the game, which I think he was referring to the Cog Slam. But I've copied this question down to just like a more of a general Cryptid Punk question. Can we battle one-on-one inside the game? And this is going back to how I've been talking about in previous AMAs, that when we get into these different metaverses and we acquire land, we have our DAO, which is you know, going to involve the community in primarily the design of the CryptoPunks fashion. So we have the CryptoPunk heads, but they'll need bodies. So we need to actually design the fashion, and we have an incredibly talented concept artist that's going to work with the community to design what the punks wear. So that's really going to be the first primary purpose of our DAO. The second one is when we get into acquire our lands in the metaverse and we start, you know, what are we actually going to build there? Like, I have a bit of an idea in my head, and I want to, well, we as a team really want to involve the community in that process to what actually we're going to build in that space. Like, say in Sandbox, for example, is it going to be like a social hub or a game or a mix of both? And people probably get sick of hearing me saying it, but we'll need to build that within a sustainable framework so we can make sure that happens with our whatever resources we have at our disposal. So can we battle one-on-one in the game? Well, that's really kind of up to the community to decide, like, what kind of game are we going to build. I'd love to see a bit of battling happening in the game. I was saying to the team the other day, we were playing the Smash Carts online as a team, a bit of team fun. I'd absolutely love to see a Crypt3d Punks kart battle game. But we'll kind of leave that in the hands of the community, and we'll steer that as best we can with the resources that we have to make that happen. But why that's kind of relevant to the Crypt3d Punk cogs is all of a sudden, we have there's an opportunity to, while we're jumping between different metaverses, it doesn't necessarily mean that a game needs to be pinned within the one metaverse. Like, there could be, rewards that are earned for particular games that could be played on, through the different platforms. And when you start kind of unfolding that with your imagination as to where that goes, that the opportunities really start to pile up. So for me, I'll be straight up minting my Crypt3d Punk into a Crypt3d Punk cog through the KML in order to get access to the the quality in ensuring whitelist opportunities, but also I'll be holding those for whatever function we decide to kind of if we can build them into to the Rfox vault, if we get into the shop and do all of that thing, and maybe the cog could possibly integrate elsewhere. All ideas that are up for discussion, but definitely something worth kind of keeping an eye on straight off the bat. I'll just see if there's can Rfox holders get whitelists? We do have a whitelist opportunity happening with the cogs holders. Did we cover that at the start, Hanford, about the cogs holders that got the whitelist opportunity through the partnership?
No, I don't think that. Well, we touched base on it, speaking about the benefits of minting cogs mint lab for your guys' Crypt3d Punks. So.
Yes. Yeah. So essentially, there was an opportunity for there was a select range of cogs that if you held them in your wallet, the team took a snapshot. I believe the snapshot was was it on Monday? I believe. Is that right? Yeah, I think it was
Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. So they took a snapshot of all cogs holders holding particular cogs in their wallets, and that afforded them the opportunity to come forward and submit their Ethereum address to get the whitelist for the Crypt3d Punks mint. I believe the cutoff for that is Friday. Don't quote me on that. That should be tomorrow. And then the team will be submitting us the full whitelist from the Rfox cogs holders. I think we got through all of the questions. I'll just do a quick dive back into the general chat to see if there's anything else there, or I think we're all good. There's plenty of gifts, which is always fun to see. I think we got through them all. David, did you have anything you wanted to chime in with?
No, I think it's been great. Just listening to the guys and getting the questions out there. There is a lot to take in. So if you are listening and you're still a bit unsure about things, that's okay. We can do more discussions around this, and over time, we'll all pick up more stuff. It's been really good. We're coming on to the hour. Maybe we could hand it back over to the boys, and they might want to throw a few cogs out. Maybe
sure. Just one quick question has come through on the general chat before we get to the cogs from Urban Gecko. Was it Urban Gecko did that awesome sketch the other day?
Yes.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
One on
one of.
Yeah, that was one of. Yeah. Very cool. How are Crypt3d Punks going to set up their DAO, and will these directions be the kind of things the community votes on? So are you referring to directions of?
You were talking about the metaverse implications and the different games and all that stuff at the time.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically DAO set up Crypt3d Punk NFT gets you voting right in the DAO. We still haven't actually 100% pinned down the exact mechanics of that, whether it's, you just hold a punk in your wallet and you just get the one vote, or more punks in your wallet gets more votes. I think we're going for just one wallet, one vote. We think we had a fair discussion about that the other day, actually, didn't we, Deviant?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And yeah, we might even just have a bit more of an in-depth sort of look at how we can make it fair as well. Because if we are going to make it one NFT per wallet, we might register that through something so that we can verify users and wallets as well, just for an extra layer. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Getting back to basically the metaverse implications, so we're basically targeting to purchase land in each metaverse that we land in, and then build up a space on that land, and really just look to kind of take the community's direction on exactly what we do in the land. Like I was saying, it really needs to happen in that kind of sustainable framework that we need to build, just to make sure that we can keep on moving forward. So we can essentially we'll take votes on, we'll get ideas, you'll be able to submit your proposals on what you think would be, whatever you think is a good idea, and then we'll take votes on those, and then we'll look at essentially we'll start to cost up how much it's going to cost to develop the proposal, and then essentially it'll be something along the lines of, perhaps we'll cost up a range of options that are indicative of the voted direction, and then submit those kind of options back to the community, and the community can kind of vote on which direction we want to go, and maybe just kind of fine tune it in from that way. One question from Gecko. How can someone go about getting whitelisted? There's plenty of whitelisting stuff going on. I think Dondon can jump in on that one, maybe. There's heaps of messages on this. Okay, cool. They're all the questions. Thanks, guys. Awesome questions.